Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, At Home with Willowberry. Or if you're new, welcome. But where have you been? I'm so happy to see you here. My name is Valerie, and in today's video, we're cooking, cleaning, and taking care of the birds here on our little homestead located up in the mountains of Virginia. I bake a sweet treat for the boys, I clean Granny's bedroom, and I tend to the chickens. So if that's something you'd be interested in, then I hope you'll stick around and enjoy the video. How are you all doing today? I sure hope you're having an amazing day. We're doing pretty good. We're happy, healthy, and loving life on our little homestead here in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Although we are having a cloudy, dreary day, it's calling for rain later today, so I figured I better get outside while I can to tend to the chickens, and once I finish with them, I want to fill the bird feeder with bird seed. Later today, I want to freshen up the front porch, clean Granny's bedroom, and once I finish with all my morning chores, I plan to bake a sweet treat for when the boys get home from school. I have a busy day planned, y'all, but first I'm going to spend some time out here at the chicken coop. I have some treats for the chickens, and I have a new flag to put outside the coop, and I also have a new chicken sign to hang inside the coop. Y'all are going to see lots of Milo today. He follows me all around on my morning adventures here on the property. He helps keep an eye on the chickens. He watches for birds while I fill the bird feeder, and later he supervises while I spruce up the front porch. And after all his hard work, he heads into the house for a nice warm nap inside away from the rain. I'm so happy we've had a few warm days here in Central Virginia. I was able to get outside and take down all the Christmas decorations that were on the front porch without freezing my tushy off. Christmas is all packed away for another year, and although I'm so sad that Christmas is over, I'm excited to see what the new year has in store for us. I'm hoping it will be a year full of successful mobile home renovations. We plan to take a break from growing a garden this year so that we can focus all our time and attention on remodeling inside the house. Well, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and collect the eggs, and then I'm going to hang up my new flag. I was at the store the other day buying chicken feed, and they had the cutest little flags, and of course I couldn't resist buying one. It has all my favorite farm animals on it, so I thought it would look cute right here outside the chicken coop. I also have a new chicken poster to add to my collection of chicken signs that are hanging inside the coop. So if y'all are ready, it's time to get to work. Alright, y'all, the chickens are taken care of for the day, so now I'm going to head back outside to tend to the bird feeder. We've had some hungry birds and they've emptied out the feeder, so I'm going to get it filled back up. Once I finish caring for the birds, it'll be time to spruce up the front porch. Look at that sweet Milo. He's so cute the way he follows me all around the yard while I'm tending to my chores. I love that sweet boy, and I'm so glad that he found us back at the rental trailer, that's for sure. Here we are, my favorite place to sit and watch the mountains. Although you can't really see the mountains today due to their clouds and mist. Rain is headed our way. I'm thankful it held off long enough for me to be outside this morning to care for all the birds. Now I'm ready to spruce up the porch. I have a few new items from Walmart and Hobby Lobby to decorate the porch with. I found the large welcome sign at Hobby Lobby. It's something I wanted for a long time, so when I saw it, I just had to buy it. I bought the pillows at Walmart, and the green wreath is something I've had for a couple of years now, but it's still in great shape, so I couldn't see buying a new one. Alright, y'all, well, I'm ready to spruce up the front porch. Alright, y'all, the birds are fed, the front porch is all spruced up, and Milo is all warm and cozy inside the house. I was able to complete all my outdoor chores before the rain started to fall, so now I'm ready to clean up in Granny's bedroom. She's sitting out in the living room watching some YouTube videos. She likes watching the Azerbaijani cooking shows. Her favorite is Relaxing Village. She really enjoys watching the grandmother baking her bread. Well, y'all, while Granny is out in the living room, I'm going to go ahead and clean her room. I need to dust, sweep, mop, and clean the windows. All right, well, it's time to get to work. I love the view of the barn from Granny's window. It's just so pretty to me. I can't wait to finish the renovations inside the mobile home so that we can start work on the barn. It's in rough shape, y'all. I still dream of the day that we can fill it with barn animals. We've just been so busy with renovations inside the home to focus our attention to raising farm animals. The chickens are pretty easy to take care of, but we're not ready for goats or donkeys just yet. I feel like they'll take up a lot of our time and attention, and we still have a lot of work ahead of us as far as renovations go. But I haven't given up on my dream. It will all come in good time. All right, well, let's keep cleaning. y'all. I'm almost finished cleaning up here in Granny's bedroom. It's all fresh and cozy for her. I'm just going to fill her aroma diffuser with some lavender essential oils. It's good for promoting relaxation and improving sleep, and not to mention it smells really good. After I finish here in the bedroom, then I'm going to go clean her bathroom. I tell you what, I love Granny's bedroom. It's just so peaceful in here. Well, y'all, Granny's bedroom is nice and clean, so now it's time to clean up the bathroom. Once I finish cleaning the bathroom, I have a new shower curtain to hang up in here. Granny loves the color red, and I found the perfect shower curtain for her. Alright, well, let's get to cleaning. Y'all, Tim has done a beautiful job renovating this bathroom. In fact, he's done wonderful work on all the rooms he's renovated in this old mobile home so far. When we moved in, this place was a wreck, and I had second and third thoughts about buying it, but he assured me it would be a completely different home once he was finished with it, and so far I've not been disappointed. It's more and more beautiful with each room he finishes. I'm most excited for the kitchen renovation, though. That's going to be a big old project, that's for sure. But if anyone can do it, I know it's Tim. It might be pouring down rain outside, but it sure is warm and cozy here in the mobile home. Well, y'all, I'm almost finished cleaning up in the bathroom. I'm just going to hang the new shower curtain and then mop the floor. The boys will be home from school soon, and I want to make them an after-school treat. So once I finish here in Granny's bedroom, I'm going to spend some time in the kitchen. Alright, y'all, Granny's bed and bath are nice and clean, and I'm sure she's ready to get back in here. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up so we can go get Granny. Well, y'all, it's now much later in the day, and the boys are going to be home from school soon, so I thought I'd make them a sweet treat for an after-school snack. I have some strawberries and a roll of puff pastry, so I googled a recipe that would combine the two ingredients, and I found a recipe for strawberry and cream cheese puff pastry tarts on ourbalancedbowl.com. It sounded easy to make and delicious to eat, so that's what I'm going to make now. To get started, I'm going to gather up all the ingredients, and then I'll wash and slice up some strawberries. Alright, y'all, the next step is to prepare the cream cheese. I'm going to whisk together some softened cream cheese along with vanilla extract and some sugar until it's smooth and creamy. And then I'm going to add some cornstarch and a little sugar to the strawberries. After those 2 steps, I'll then prepare the puff pastry. I've never worked with puff pastry before, so I'm not exactly sure what to expect, but the recipe makes it sound easy, so I guess we'll soon find out. The puff pastry is a lot easier to handle than I expected. The hardest part was trying to make 8 even sections for the tarts. Mine definitely aren't perfect, but that's alright. It won't affect the way it tastes. I guess some will just be bigger than others. So now, according to the recipe, I need to score a rectangle into each tart, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Now that I've added the cream cheese mixture to each tart, I'm going to top the cream cheese with the strawberries. I placed the cream cheese and strawberries just inside the rectangle that I scored into each tart. So the next step would be to beat an egg in a bowl and then brush the outer edges of the puff pastry with the egg wash. I'll then generously sprinkle some turbinado sugar on top of the egg-washed part of the pastry. Once I'm finished with those steps, I'll then pop the tarts into a 425-degree oven for about 15 minutes, or until the edges are golden brown. If I've timed it right, the boys should be home just as the strawberries and cream cheese puff pastry tarts come out of the oven. Alright, well, let's finish making the tarts. Well, y'all, I've got about 15 minutes to waste while the tarts are baking in the oven. That's just enough time to clean up my mess, wash a few dirty dishes, and make a powdered sugar icing to go on top of the tarts. I tell you what, those tarts look delicious already, so I can't wait to see how they look after they've finished cooking, that's for sure. All right, well, it's time to clean up the kitchen. Alright, y'all, it's been about 15 minutes, so let's go check on the tarts. Wow, y'all, they look and smell amazing. And just in time for the boys to get home. I'm just going to drizzle some icing on each tart, and then it will be time for a taste test. Y'all, these strawberry and cream cheese tarts sure are delicious, especially warm right out of the oven. The boys love them, that's for sure. Well, y'all, I guess that's about it for another video. I sure hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I had a wonderful day here on the homestead, and I hope you did too. Alright, well, y'all have a great week, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Bye, y'all.